Hey, how you doing? I'm back, and I'm here to explain a couple of the terms and some of the terminology that I frequently use in my videos and now on my website as well. With the launch of weaponstencils.com, I'm starting to offer a lot of my sheets in weeded and unweeded versions. And I realize a lot of you may not realize what that means, especially when you go to order. So the point of this video today is to kind of go ahead and explain the difference between weeded, unweeded, and then partially weeded, which is also a term I use on my site. I'm also going to get into explaining the difference between male, female, or positive and negative templates, just so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about on my website and in these videos. Alright, so let's go check them out. Okay, so we're looking at one of my most common sheets. This is listed as multi-flage on my website on weaponstencils.com. As you can see, this is generally what you're going to get. This is how most people order it. This is the standard kind of version. This is how it displays on my website. However, there is an option in the drop-down menu between weeded and unweeded. And I believe weeded is listed as standard and the unweeded is listed as unweeded. So if you are kind of new to the game and maybe you're doing your first project or you don't have a lot of experience, this is generally what you're going to want to order, just the standard version. Now, I realize that some guys do their coding a little bit differently. Everyone has their own tricks on how they get their patterns to come out, so that's why I now offer an unweeded version. I realize this looks just like a blank sheet of vinyl, but the cuts are actually there. This is fresh off the plotter and I have not touched it yet. So this is what you would get when you order unweeded. Now, only difference between what I do is I grab the corner and I peel it off. This is what's referred to as weeding your design. You're weeding out all the crap you don't need. So now I have a weeded version. The thing is, when you buy an unweeded version, it does give you another option on how you do it. You actually will get the female templates. As I pulled off this now ball of vinyl, all the female or negative stencils are still there. If I was carefully to pull that out, maybe cut some of these away and carefully pull it back and then lay this ball flat on another sheet, I would have the exact opposite of this. So I could use those to spray in instead of spraying on top of these. I can spray into those. So that's the difference between positive and negative, or female and male. I like to refer it as male and female. It makes a little more sense. The male goes on, and you spray over the top. The female is kind of self-explanatory. You put something in it. So that kind of explains that. Some of the designs that I have are a little more user-friendly when it comes to using the female. This sheet particularly is packed so tight, and I've arranged it like a jigsaw puzzle, that it's kind of hard to use the female pieces once you weed it, just because it requires a lot of masking and taping, just because they are so tight together. So that's just something to consider. Let's talk about my broken window, which is another one of my most popular designs. This is how it displays on my site. This is a fully weeded version. This is not how it ships, however, and that's mentioned and kind of explained on the site as well. It actually ships partially weeded. And I say partially because this is how it comes off the plotter. Again, I grab the corner, pull off the outside, which saves you guys a step. And this is how it ships. This is actually better for you to get it like this, because now you have the rings to play with as well. And you can drop those rings in and kind of break up your pattern, as opposed to just having this kind of grid pattern that's here with the internal offsets. Now you have all of these that you can play with, put in different spots, break up the pattern. And I've seen designs where they use the rings separately away from the rest of this, and it actually looks very cool. It's a very good idea. Just a couple more examples. These are a couple new patterns that I just listed on the new website. I don't even think this is up yet, but this will be soon. I'm referring to this as pixels, and this is how it's going to ship. again, partially weeded, the outside's pulled for you, but this is the end result. All these little cuts are on this sheet, and as you pull up the corner, let's see if I can get it on video to show you a little bit. As you pull up this corner right here, and you pull, this is what you're going to get. So now, not only this design's made to be used in a female fashion, it's going to be very difficult for you to transfer all of these individual male pieces onto a project without some good transfer tape. However, this one's more meant to peel this whole female sheet off or cut it up into smaller pieces depending on where you're putting it, and then lay it down, and now you're spraying into the holes. Once again, that's why we call it female. A lot of people also use the term positive and negative. I find male and female a lot more self-explanatory. So again, this is Pixels. This will be up on the website shortly. Alright, and the last one I want to show you is what I refer to as Cracked Earth. This is again a new design that's up on the new website, and this is also meant to be used as a female pattern, more or less. You actually could use it either or, because this is how it's designed, but this is how it ships. So again, not only do you get this web, but you get all these little pieces inside here. So you could use this web to lay down and spray inside. Again, female, you're spraying inside all these little circles as it's laid down, female stencil. Or you could pull all of these little pieces out. We'll talk about this in a second. All these little pieces out and create a completely different pattern. Almost use these like you would the multi-flage or the woodland or anything else, or the splinter camo, because it's a completely unique design. This is a pretty cool design just because it gives you those two options. But like I said, I hope that explains everything. Again, weeded versus unweeded versus partially weeded, male and female stencils. If I didn't explain it well or you still have a question, feel free to ask. If you want a design on my website that doesn't have the option for unweeded, when you order, to shoot me a message. Leave a note in the notes field to leave X sheet weeded, or leave all your sheets unweeded, or however you want to do it, and that's how they'll turn out. Oh, and just one more quick note. You guys see me using these little hook tools. If you're going to be doing any sort of bulk stenciling, you know, more than just maybe a single project or a single sheet, go out and do yourself a favor. Instead of using your fingernail to pick all these up and it being a pain in the butt, I got this one, if you can see it, at Harbor Freight in like a 5-pack. They're like little dental picks basically. I think it was like $4 for the whole pack at Harbor Freight. I got this one. It's a little more ergonomically friendly. If you're going to be doing a lot of weeding, this one was on Amazon for a few bucks. I think it's like the silhouette version. So that was just a little tip. Thanks for watching. Again, another crappy video, so I appreciate you subscribing. Thanks.